Ermelinda Trinder is an Albanian archaeologist originally from Fear. Now, she moved to the UK 17 years ago and has worked as an Albanian English translator and is now currently a PhD researcher. She's also a Fellow of Higher Education and an MA module lead and lecturer at Staffordshire University. But she stayed in touch with her archaeological roots and her Albanian roots, and she's working on an initiative to combine archaeology with helping refugees and asylum seekers who've entered the UK. These are two things, archaeology and migration, that you might not normally put together, but here we are. Ermelinda, welcome to Inside Albania. It's a pleasure to meet you, albeit virtually.
It's nice to meet you, Alice, as well. Yeah, thank you very much.
First things first, I'm in Albania, I'm English, you are in the UK, you're Albanian. What took you to the UK?
Love. Love at first sight, actually. I was born in Albania, as you know, and I was an archaeologist. And many years ago, I met this English guy who just heard about Albania, and he was very intrigued to see what Albania was like. And the moment we met, we knew we were going to get married and have children, and I moved to England over 17 years ago.
Wow, that's quite a story. Do you miss home at all, or is the UK home now?
I do. It's interesting because I call my husband my home, but it takes me 2 seconds to realize that Albania is home. And the thing I miss most is things you can't describe, like the smell of chai malit, oregano. This type of smell, sound, people talking. I miss everything about Albania.
Oh, yeah. It's funny. You've lived in the UK almost longer than I did, you know. But I wanted to ask you, let's get straight to it. So you are involved with what appears to be a really great initiative, the Family Festival of Archaeology and Pottery. Tell me about this. How did you get involved with this and what's the aim?
When I was in Albania, I was an archaeologist. I was a second year, started archaeology, and I excavated to my Kamenice, the Kamenice of Tumulus, and I was intrigued. I was captivated by the beauty of archaeology, particularly Bronze Age, and how people express that, but at the same time, how we as archaeologists could connect with people from the past. And after a long time in England, after bringing up 4 children, 13 years at home, I decided that archaeology is my passion. But rather than just doing something academic, which I do love excavation, I love research, I'm very interested on how we can bring archaeology to everyday people. How can we make archaeology useful, and how we can contribute to people in the street who want to know about it. And for a period of time, I was a freelance interpreter, Albanian English. And as an Albanian as well, I know what it's like to be a foreigner in another country, even though I'm officially British. And working with the refugees and asylum seekers, I was confronted with all the challenges that they face, the language barriers, the culture barriers, the weather, the differences. And I couldn't wait for opportunity to do an archaeology event that connects people in a way that can relate to. It can be about people enjoying archaeology, learning through archaeology, but having a sense of identity with heritage culture. So in collaboration, ASHA North Staffordshire is an organization that works with refugees and asylum seekers. They help refugees with all process from English learning to doing papers, how to apply, how to get connected with police and all these things. And they do a fantastic job in collaborating with lots of people from all over the world. And there's lots of Albanians. And I had the privilege on the 22nd of June to organize a family festival of archaeology. And my son was involved as well. And it was such a pleasure to speak Albanian and for my son to see other part of Albanians. I'm really, really interested on engaging people, particularly, as you know, is the election day on the 4th of July, and refugees and asylum seekers been a hot topic. They've been blamed for everything. I'm not getting into all the politics, but it's been creating that us against them. The refugees are the problems. And as an Albanian, even though I didn't come as a refugee, you see that we foreigners have so much to bring to the country. It's not just the drug dealers and the bad people, but there's so much wealth that we can bring. It's all this idea that people come is not just the uneducated, it's people that want a better life. And some of the refugees are exceptionally educated, and yeah, it's just how to engage them. We can use archaeology. It's an international language. It's exciting, it's beautiful, and we can use to combine people, to bring people together, to give that sense of identity, to show people that we all have value, we all can engage. Archaeology and culture belongs to everyone.
A lot of Albanians have taken part in the initiatives that you have done, which is amazing. It's commendable. How do they react? You know, when they've arrived to England, they've been through a very stressful situation. They're in a hostile environment. Let's be honest, it is a hostile environment, I think, you know, in terms of the media and the government there. And you sort of turn up and talk to them about pottery and archaeology. Are they a bit like, oh, what's this? You know, are they confused at first? How do they react? How does their reaction change throughout the process?
It's been a very positive reaction. It's particularly the children who are living in the country and parents are still struggling with papers, whether they'll be sent to Albania or they'll be leaving. And I think it's good to give children as well a hope. And I was talking to a couple of parents, and they were very happy to see, oh, it's great to see that Albanians are doing very well. It's good to see that we can contribute. It's good to make that connection, that is someone out there who's our voice, understand us, and there's hope for us. Despite of all the challenges, and some of them are facing some difficult challenges, it's good to have someone that speaks our language and can talk to us and understand what's like.
What's next in your plans in the UK? And do you have any plans to bring any kind of similar initiative back to Albania?
I always believed, before I met my husband, I always believed that I wanted to contribute to Albania. I never wanted to leave. I know the challenges of Albania, but it's such a beautiful country, such beautiful people, culture, and I would love to do something in the future.
Ermelinda, thank you so much. And the work you're doing, this is great, especially for these children whose lives have sort of been turned upside down. They've arrived in this new place, and giving them this familiarity of home and letting them know there's a welcoming community there amongst all the noise from politics. This is really important. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Alice.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.